So, hello everybody, and welcome to the Real Estate Success Show. Very, very excited today for you to have a chance to meet Mr. Gary Jordan. The guy's been in the industry for quite a while now, doing some extremely big things. Has a very unique background. I can't wait for you to hear what this gentleman is doing, what he has done, and what value he can just bring to you by taking a few minutes of your time. So, we'll be right back with you in just a minute. So, here we go. Well, hello there, Mr. Gary Jordan. How are you doing?
Hey, good afternoon, Sean. Doing great. How are you?
Doing awesome, man. We appreciate your time. And Gary is out of the Colorado Springs area. And real quickly, before I bring him in and ask him a few questions, let me give you a little bit of this guy's background. Been in real estate since 2009, over 30 years experience, really from a sales and marketing and management background, but has a lot of designations here. He's a certified mentor here at our brokerage, does all kinds of things. Also has a certified with Buffini. He's also a class facilitator with them, A+ accredited, sales representative specialist, a military relocation professional, senior real estate specialist, and a negotiation expert. Well, I'd be careful if I got to do any deals with you, buddy. Charity support. Look at this. He's also got a Project Healing Waters fly fishing, March of Dimes, Colorado State Board of Directors, American Heart Association Board, and the guy graduated right in my backyard from Texas A&M. He is an avid fly fisherman, outdoor enthusiast, and been married to his beautiful wife now and has 4 children and 12 grandkids. I don't have any grandkids yet. I can't even imagine that day. I'm just out of total curiosity. This is going to be so fun for me, Gary, because there's a few things you probably shared with me and I probably have forgot because that's where my mind is today as I'm getting older. But man, with 12 grandkids and the 4 children, how many are close to you up where you're at? Are they spread
Actually,
out all over Colorado?
my wife and my dog live in the same city and state. Everybody else is scattered around the world.
Oh my goodness. How often do you get a
Unfortunately,
chance to visit them all?
I did a lot of traveling in that regard. I've got a family, 2 families in Texas, in the Houston area. My 2 daughters and
Yeah.
2 sons. Both one lives on the East Coast in Virginia.
Yep.
Another son lives abroad in Europe, in the Czech Republic, in the beautiful city of Prague.
Oh, my wife and I are wanting to go there. So you've been out there to visit, I'm assuming, in
Many
Prague?
times,
Oh,
many
that is
times.
awesome. Wonderful. Well, man, we appreciate you taking a few minutes. Really, really do. I'm excited for this. I look forward to some of the nuggets I'm sure you're going to drop. But why don't we start things off? Obviously, I gave a little bit of your background, but give us more of the journey. Kind of what got you into real estate and what's this been like for you since getting involved in '09?
I've been a entrepreneur since I was about 12 years old.
Okay.
Born and raised on a Texas cattle ranch. I grew up with a lot of responsibility. I had chores when I was a kid to earn my weekly allowance to have a little spending money and so forth. And I grew up in a small town in the Austin area. It was my hometown. And my first career was in the cattle business. I was a Texas cowboy, ranching business, and I thought I'd be a rancher and cowboy all my life because I was 3rd generation in that space. But things change in life you don't expect sometimes,
Yep.
and that business went away many years ago after a good run. After that, I got involved in financial services, a great industry. I had a good friend of mine who was a mentor, who was very successful. I followed his footsteps, copied what he did right, and I was involved in the financial services, insurance, financial planning, stocks and
Yep.
bonds, and so forth for about 6 years there. A good business. An opportunity came along when I was approached by a group in Colorado to become their national sales director for an insurance company. A deal I couldn't pass up. I walked away from my current business at the time, which is probably a mistake, with the hindsight being 2020, and took that gig with the insurance national sales director gig, and had an office in Denver and an office in San Clemente, California. I was back and forth, traveling back and forth. Good experience around some really smart people. I learned a lot, but it wasn't a good, healthy lifestyle. I was traveling too much. I was gone half the time from my family.
Yeah.
Not getting enough exercise and so forth, eating big meals and cocktails and just gaining weight. It wasn't a good space. So I made the decision to make a change in the middle of my life to get back to the basics. Believe it or not, I ended up, hanging up all my suit and ties, and put my jeans back on, my boots back on. I bought a ranch up in the mountains of Colorado, and I was an outfitter, a term called an outfitter for the next decade plus. That means you're in the business of providing outdoor recreational guiding experiences for companies. I had
Yeah.
a big game hunting and fishing guide service, summer guest ranch, had 50 horses and mules, riding through the Rocky Mountains and so forth, having packed trips and spending time in the wilderness. And great experience. I never take for it.
Yeah.
I had a
That's
lot of
fascinating. I immediately start thinking of Yellowstone, as you're
Oh
going
yeah,
through all that. That just
I've got
sounded awesome.
a lot of great campfire stories, and that business ran its course. It was a great experience, and I'd always known always been involved in real estate as a business owner, owned ranch properties and so forth. Always knew it was a good business. It never was really the right time for me, but back in the 2008 2009 period of time, it was the right time to make a move to real estate. I had a good friend again who was a mentor, successful in the business that got me started in real estate. I got him. Everybody else was getting out in 2009, kind of
Yeah.
the beginning of the recession. It was that I didn't know any better.
Yeah. Yeah. But
And
it sounds like you kind of caught it right at the tail end of it. So as things had kind of bottomed out, we lost half the agents. So it probably was really a good time to kind of start. You didn't have near as much competition.
well, yeah, but it was a tough time too. I
Yeah.
didn't have any
Yeah.
systems at the time. I really proven systems. I didn't have real good support, and I kind of floundered for the first few years. It was a tough gig. Um, I ended up after I think my third or fourth year in the business, I decided to go to work with Remax, great company, the big balloon, well known worldwide and so forth. And I spent 7 years with Remax, had a good experience there, around some good people, some good producers. And I
Mhm.
believe in the old proverb, you become like who you're around.
Agree.
And when I was with Remax, I got exposed to this real estate system called the Buffini Company, working by referral system. At
Mhm.
the time, it was I didn't have a lot in my pipeline. I'd been working on deals that kind of fell apart. Took this course. It was about a 6-week course about this working by referral system. I said, this is the right fit. I've always been a relationship kind of guy, so I plugged into this system. I guess it is about 6 years ago, and never looked back. It's a great system, turnkey system. All you have to do is work. That's the
Mhm.
hard. You got to pull a 4-letter word out called work, and not everybody likes that. But it's just one of the systems that I know works very very well if a person works the system.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very good. All right. And so you've been doing this. So you were there in the whole Buffini course. So have you been able to take are you still with the Buffini course now? You still with them?
Yes, I am. I still use that system,
Okay.
and I actually teach some of the Buffini training classes on a national level, and a couple of times per year. So it's a great program. I really enjoy sharing what I've learned over the years with this system to other realtors around the country. It helps them up their game.
Gotcha. And if I were to ask you, just for agents who might be checking this out at some point in time, from production, newer agents that might be, maybe at that 1, 2, 3 million, they're just really trying to get things, to the next level. What might you say with all your experience now? What would you say to some of these agents that could be viewing this and what they could do right now to help improve their business?
Well, I would tell them to hang around people who are having success.
Okay.
Once again, I'll say it like I said a while ago. You become like who you hang around. If you hang around people who are doing 1 or 2 sales per year, man, you're going to be a copycat. If you
Mm,
hang around people who are doing 20 or 30 or 100 sales per year or more, and it's going to happen whether you want it to or not. You're going to be a copycat again, and you're going to have some great success.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. I like that. So have you always been a solo agent? Were you ever on a team or a broker or anything like that?
I've been all the above. My years with Remax, I was a solo agent.
Okay.
My last several years, since I changed over to EXP, I've had a traditional team. And for the last, I guess, a year and a half, especially, I've converted it over from a traditional team to what we call a modern team. And now I have a good group of agents, about 27 agents working with me in about 6 different states, and it's growing on a daily basis.
Well, that is awesome. So when you say traditional team and modern team, can you elaborate on what are really the primary differences between those two?
Well, traditional team is what I'd say that 99% of real estate agents have if they're a team leader. It means you bring on agents who typically are fairly new in the business. You provide them the training, you provide them the mentorship, you provide them with leads, you provide them a system, CRM systems, and so forth. And in exchange for your knowledge and your motivation and your leadership and your, I might say, pushing them the right buttons, you get a certain percentage of their commission. Whatever sale they make, you split a certain amount, anywhere from 50% to sometimes maybe 60-40, sometimes maybe 70-30, depending upon what agreement you have in their experience level.
Okay. Okay. So that's your traditional team. So what's really the primary difference now with this modern team?
With the modern team that I've become aware of in the last 3 years with the EXP model, you attract productive agents, preferably, to the EXP model. And the company itself provides all the mentorship, provides all the training, provides all the CRM systems and all the support they need to become successful. You don't have to, as a team leader, I don't use myself that term anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have to be spending all my time being the babysitter and overseeing team members. I still provide support. You bet. I want to be successful, but it's not my number one responsibility now because I have so much more collaborative support from the company.
Gotcha. Okay. And so we've kind of talked about this is now the modern team you're building over here at EXP. So let's go back to before you made this transition, because here's where I'm real curious. So you're there at Remax, you're successful, things are going well. What was it that caught your attention, and what was the main reason you made the move? Was there anything that was challenging, or was there some challenges or struggles right before you made the move, and that's somehow getting solved by coming over here?
That's a great question. Being always a business owner and an entrepreneur, I always wanted to have my own business, work for myself versus working for someone else. I want to build my own business instead of building somebody else's business.
Okay.
With the traditional brokerages, such as EXP or KW or Caldwell Banker, they're all great companies. With their models, if you want to go in business for yourself, you have to either buy a franchise or you have to break off and become an independent broker yourself and go through all the upfront expense of creating the bricks and mortar office environment, hiring staff, getting equipment, all the systems in place, and the liability that goes with that. That was a little bit of a roadblock for me, a little bit of a stumbling block that I wouldn't really take on because this just didn't give me a warm and fuzzy feeling, put it like that.
I got you. Give me 1 sec. Let me shut this door here. Sorry about that, Gary. My wife walked in and dog's starting to bark and all that good stuff. So
everything's okay.
Very, very good. So is there anything that you had, even also before making the move over to EXP, anytime that you felt stuck in your business where by making this transition, things have now been improved or you've been able to take care of whatever that challenge might have been?
Well, yes, I'm going to finish your first question too, though, in the same time.
Okay.
Yes, I was stuck. I was a roadblock because I saw too many times, and where I previously was, that a good producer who had he or she had their own team, were a very, very important part of the brokerage, would all of a sudden one day go out the back door, put up their own sign, and become direct competition to their brokerage. I didn't like that. The retention was consistently bad. Every year I saw some of the key people in the brokerage go out the back door and become direct competition. I felt sorry for the broker. He's a great guy and a good friend of mine. So that was the issue that I didn't know how to correct that problem at first. When I saw the EXP model, and I was reluctant to even look at it, I was happy where I was. I thought I'd be a Remax lifer. I was very
Mhm.
skeptical to even look at it. When I
Okay.
saw this thing, it caught my attention. There were some things going on there that were different. One was it being a cloud-based brokerage model versus being traditional bricks and mortar. I never heard of such a thing, but the world is changing,
No
especially now
doubt.
since COVID came around. We're working at home with the dogs barking and so forth. That's a
Yeah.
different world, and it's okay. It's fine. Uh, but the a couple other things that really caught my attention too, that I didn't understand at first, was the opportunity to have stock equity in the company.
Hmm.
That was sweet. The fact that I've been formerly a financial advisor, I understood the credibility that being on the NASDAQ stock exchange provided for a company.
Yeah.
And when I recognized that they were publicly traded on the NASDAQ, I was very surprised. I'd never heard of them before 3 years ago. But it caught my attention, is worth digging into. So this is a real deal. So the stock equity opportunity and stock awards caught my attention. Being on the NASDAQ was instant credibility. The opportunity also to possibly develop some substantial residual passive income over time was a real carrot dangling in front of me too.
Yeah.
Formerly being with insurance and being involved with financial services, those industries provide that residual income, renewal income type opportunity. That wasn't happening in real estate. Every time I made a sale, I had to make the next sale to have
Yeah.
more income coming in. It's just every year on January 1st, I was unemployed, starting over at square one at zero.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that was an ongoing hamster wheel battle to keep going, getting the chasing the next deal on a consistent basis to provide income from my family to help me reach the goals I had, the financial goals I have for myself and my family. So the residual income part was a big draw to me also.
Okay. So let's, now that you're here, you've been here now for a few years. I know you're doing very well. Kind of elaborate on what does life look like now? You've got these multiple streams of income. What has that really been able to do for you and provide for you?
Well, the biggest thing it provides me is I'm excited about the real estate business. Uh, right now, some people think the business is in a tough position. The economy isn't what it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. That's just the way it works. It's always going to be up and down kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the model that we have right now to work with, and all the collaborative support, and all the real smart, successful producers I work with now on a daily basis and talk to on a daily basis, like yourself, I'm learning every day. And I do a lot of teaching, yes, but I'm always try to do a lot of learning too.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about the opportunity, what's going on. I know that the goals I have, I've got some pretty exciting goals from my family and for financial goals and personal goals too. I know that they can all be reached within the next 3 to 5 years. No doubt in my mind, if I keep doing what I'm doing, because there's
Hmm.
been too many people I work with now have been doing exactly the same thing for 3 to 5 years, saying the same thing, talking to the same kind of people, and having fantastic success. And I believe I'm a great copycat. I'm
Yeah.
gonna, I'm, gonna, I'm gonna stick to it and do the same thing too,
I'm
and
the
just
same way. I
keep
love it.
keep keep planting those seeds. And I guarantee you, a certain percentage of those seeds are going to
Yeah.
sprout and develop some strong crops.
So you have, so that we're really talking about three different ways, right? You get paid when you close on transactions like you would anywhere, but you've been building up a nice little nest egg, a little equity for potential retirement. So this revenue share, this residual income, we don't necessarily have to go into the numbers, but what has that done for you? Are you able to take some of that money? Is it allowing you to do some things maybe you weren't able to do before with this extra money coming in passively?
So I'll say one thing. I haven't been really working the agent and attraction revenue passive revenue share part of the business for very long.
Okay.
But in the year and a half or so that I have been working it, right now, besides my commissions on making traditional sales, which is still the biggest part of my business right now, and still the biggest
Yeah.
part of my income right now, my income each month, it just falls out of the sky, deposited in my account automatically, whether I make a sale or not, is more than covering my home mortgage, for one thing.
Wow. That's
paying
peace
for
of
my
mind.
paying for my house.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of sweet. And of course, with real estate, the way it's appreciated the last few years, those little ka-chinks each month that pay for that house, the
Yeah.
house appreciating in value, uh, becomes something substantial.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. Well, Gary, man, I just want to say hats off to you. We enjoy you immensely being part of this team. You've always got wisdom to bring, and I know you and I do several Zooms throughout the week. We're with masterminds, like you said, with a lot of successful agents, team leaders, and brokers from all over the country. So it has been a truly amazing blessing for my family and I, and I'm blessed to know you and be able to work with you. But is there any last thing you'd like to say to maybe anybody out there who may have any kind of curiosity about EXP and just what this model could do for them? Any last thing that you'd like to maybe share?
Yeah, Sean, I'd say this, and being kind of a thinking kind of a comment. If you're in real estate or any real estate, especially, and especially if you've been in the business for a while, you've been so-called successful and so forth. If you have some real exciting dreams and goals you want to try to obtain during your life, whatever that might be, just ask yourself: It's what I'm doing right now. Can I obtain those dreams and goals in a reasonable period of time? Can I have more time with my family? Can I afford to take my family on certain vacations? Can I put my kids through college? Can I have that fancy car I want to have, or that nice home I want to have, or that second home? Whatever your dreams and goals might be, ask yourself a serious question and give yourself an honest answer. It's what I'm doing right now. Can I obtain those goals? Well, I can still enjoy it. If you can't, for sure, say yes to those questions. Be open-minded enough to just take a look at the other opportunities out there, such as EXP. Many people are closed-minded to even take a look. They heard this or that around the water cooler. That's good enough for them.
Yeah.
I just encourage you, take a look for yourself. Make your own decision. Know what you're saying no to before you say no to anything.
Yeah. Well, that's a great way to put it. If I added anything to that, if you guys are viewing this right now, feel free to take a screenshot. The phone number going across the bottom, got my number, got Gary's number. Don't hesitate to reach out to us at all. We'd be more than happy to not only walk you through the model, but we'll personalize it for you, right? We'll plug in your numbers and show you, had you just been here the last year or two or even 3 years, here's what it'd be worth for you today. Because you definitely owe it to yourself to at least fully understand the model and what it could potentially do for you. So thank you so much, Gary. We sincerely appreciate you spending a few minutes with us. And I hope you and your family have an incredible Thanksgiving. And tell you what, if I can make it up on one of those fly fishing trips, I'm all in. Never experienced that. I've seen some of the videos, and it looks like a lot of fun.
Okay, Sean, it is a lot of fun. I'll give you the opportunity sometime. We'll look forward to it.
Sounds wonderful. Gary, thank you so much, man. Hope you have a blessed holiday. All right, buddy. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you. You too.